The Beef and Barnzy Show, brought to you by Bowlersmart.com, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Lightning Strikes Bowl, home of Bowlers Mart Pro Shop. By Platinum Ford, drive the difference. By Fire Lake Bowling Center, 24 state-of-the-art lanes. By True Grit Coatings, drive on our passion. By Road to Grip, king of them all. By 900 Global, striking worldwide.
Good morning and welcome back to the Beef and Barnzy Show. We got one of our favorite people in the bowling business on for today. But first, as usual, I'm joined by the inimitable Beef Stew. How are you this morning?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, an interesting week on the lanes. I saw your son took a mixed team record this week.
They had a pretty good day with an open in the 10th.
Yeah, what did they shoot series?
He didn't say, so I'm guessing it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I hold the record, or not the record, but we have the Arizona State 5-man record, and it was 4 guys and a lady.
Oh, this is 3 and 2 for one.
Yeah, no, I understand. I was just wondering whether they beat my mixed team.
I don't know. Madison Janik, she bowled a pretty big score all the way around, but who's the Addie? I think went 190, 270, 190. So
okay, yeah. I mean,
I'm guessing that probably put a little short. And Ryan actually didn't have huge games around it either. So
yeah, when we did it, I think I had 815 and my friend had 860, so that kind of knocked a bit of a hole in it.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I think we had like 3860. So
oh yeah. No, nowhere close to that.
It was a pretty fun night. I remember my insurance guy, Frank Sidoti, came down to me, and hope you're doing better, Frank. He came down to me that night and he goes, I shot 765. And I go, man, you'd have been just about good enough to be the 5th person on our team.
If it all went well.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll be answering bowling questions as we're going, but today we've got something a little bit different. I don't know about you, Chris, but I think it's a lot of bowlers' dreams to own their own bowling center.
I thought I'd own my own by now, but I have not grown up yet. So,
we've got a man who owns his own bowling center, and he's going to give us some of the breakdowns of why it's a good idea, why it's a horrific idea, and the fun that you get from it. Just one second. We've got something coming in down the pipe. Oh, hello. Hi, Ryan. Thanks for the premium comment. Let's see what we got here. Morning, gentlemen. Just wanted to wish you both a great PBA season, and thanks for all the great content. We need Simo to enter the chat more often. That was some good stuff the other day. Yes, and Simo also sort of owns his own bowling center. So that would have been a person who we could have got on. I don't think he has quite the same overheads as Mr. Eddie on that bowling center, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
No further ado.
We appreciate you. All right. What's next? Are we gonna bring him in?
Let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. Gosh, I first met him a couple years ago. Yeah. It was just a center that he'd bought out of foreclosure. Oh, we'll get into all that, I guess. He can give us the details on it. Just a good dude trying to help out a bunch of bowlers, and then got to know the real story behind it all. And, I can't wait for you to hear it too. But good friend of the show, owner of Lightning Strikes, Robert Eddie. How are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Well, except for that jersey behind you, pretty much okay.
Yeah, I two things. I wanted to shame you guys into not getting me anything good, yet. But I wanted to throw Dino a bone after that loss this past week. I know he's hurting a little bit. I sent him, some real messages. Just tell him how sorry I am for his loss and all that.
Just one more thing I love about you.
This is getting off to a good start. We have a lot of Cowboys fans who come on the show. One of the more obnoxious ones hasn't been on for a while. James Graham, he hasn't been on for a while.
Yeah,
Wow.
poor Dino. I sent him about 1,000 memes, as they come out. Press. I bombed with him.
I mean, my favorite is the one with Dak Prescott and his girlfriend, and said they broke up because she didn't see a ring coming anytime soon.
Oh, that was rough. He took it easy on me when Tampa Bay got their butts whooped. It was pretty bad. But hey, you got to roll with the punches.
So let's crack on with this.
Right.
So you own Lightning Strikes, which is in Fort Myers. For those of you, for those of us watching or whatever who don't 100% know all the backstory, I know that this bowling center has been around in the community for a long time, but it had foreclosed, correct?
Well, it's 34 years old. It was called Galaxy Lanes, then Penn Street, and it's I don't know how deep you want to get, but it wasn't my dream to have a bowling center. That had never been my dream. I'm a fair league bowler, but I love it. I love hanging out with the guys, having a few beers, bowling, and talking trash, and I don't want to get into too much, but this area was really just dying as far as competitive bowling. That was my opinion of it. So a friend of mine, Kinsley Matthews, we were talking one day, and he goes, we need to put together a better league, put some money up. So we started the Oaks Farms League, which grew into something. We were down to like 10 or 12 teams on our Wednesday night contractors league, and we were able to fill the house up to 24 teams. And it was a lot of fun, and long story short, I kind of wanted to do my own thing. It started out, I was going to build a bowling alley at my house. Really, I was going to put in 4 lanes, pool tables and stuff, and I was just gonna, that way I could practice, because I wanted to get better.
Yeah.
And at the time, my son was getting really good. I was taking him all over the place, getting coaching. He's going to Teen Masters and Junior Gold and all that. And we were getting him some coaching. He'd gone to Kegel many times. Bill Hall had coached him. Ruben Garagosian had coached him. Rick Wiltz. And we decided that we were going to bring him up to Fort Myers to spend some time with Ricky Ward. Different approach to how he would attack the lanes. And we were talking, and this took several months, but he says, why don't you buy this place? He says, I know the guy wants to sell it. So I called him and we talked, and he wanted a lot more than I was willing to pay. Plus, there had, the roof was in bad shape, the lighting, the floors. I mean, it was just a mess, So I knew there was $1.5 million I had to put into it just to get it to where I would be happy with it, So put it off, decided to go a different route. And one day, Ricky told me, he says, I heard it's going up for sale at the courthouse. So I got the date, ran down there with a big pocket of cash. I'm going to make a bid, give it a shot, Well, it didn't come up for sale. It didn't come up. I kept asking about it, nothing. Every month it came up that it was going on sale, and it never did. So I finally got the number to the bank that owned it. And what was going on is they were trying to get it to a point, where they could sell it, but it was going through foreclosure and all this. The guy owned a ton of back taxes, and to get all that to work its way around to where I didn't have to pay for it, it took about a year. So we worked out a price, got it a very good price, enough that I was happy with it. And it'll be 4 years in April 1st. I took it over.
What a fun date.
Yeah, I know, right? April Fools. it was a mess. I mean, let's face it. I mean, when you walk through the place,
this is a big center.
It's big. It's not just 50 lanes. It's the concourse is huge. And
for those of you around us, it's like DC West or your USA Bowler Showplace, like those old centers. It's got a monster concourse.
Yeah. So anything that you wanted to do, any upgrade you wanted to make, isn't just an easy fix. It's a big job and a lot of money. The capital was going to be substantial. And it was a bad time. I didn't want to do it at the time. We were just starting to build another store. And Irma had just wiped us out, previously to that,
Christopher says that you should have gone for the 4 lanes in your house.
I know, right? And believe me, we can make a lot of jokes about that, But anyway, so, I mean, look, when you walked in the place, it was dark, and it smelled, it wasn't dirty, but, they had all the carpet, on the walls,
It was like an old school.
Yeah, and, there was this guy that owned it. Just obviously didn't want to put any money into the place. And how to get my head right. So
not
so
like
I
that.
get in there. I'm like, all right, what's the first thing? What's the first thing we're gonna do? I didn't know what to do first. It was just so many things to do. So I'm like, all right, well, first thing we got to do is we got to get the lights on so I can see. Which once the lights went on, I'm like, holy shit, you can see.
What did I do?
Yeah, you can see it all now. The stains on the carpet, and all. But we there was I can't remember. I don't think there was 12, 13, 14 teams a night on league on some nights. Some nights there was almost nothing.
What did you
bowling was? I mean, 3,000 a week. It was nothing. There was nobody going in.
What did you put into it to get it your level of operational? And then how much have you put it into it since then? Because I know you've done a bunch more products.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, just the new air conditioner was $350,000. I would
you
say
need that in Florida.
Excuse me?
You need that in Florida?
Well, if you don't, the people complain it's hot and they're sweating and they're sticking,
and you can't slide.
This bowling center, if the air conditioner is off or not working properly, you're sticking.
Yeah.
And then, everybody knows where I'm bowling. They let me know about everything. But, look, the air conditioner went down, I think, a couple of weeks before you guys came in to bowl that tournament.
Yeah. And then it worked, and it was fine. And then it stopped for about half an hour.
Oh, man.
It was like you were wearing sneakers. It was unbelievable.
And everybody kept looking over at me, and I'm like, fuck, man, I got to get out of here, So, look,
at least it's not that easy to spot you. You're not that tall.
No, yeah, they know where I am. They see my bald head, and there he is. So look, the AC went out, and I got a portable, a big one. I mean, this thing almost filled up a tractor trailer. All right, parked it out back, gigantic generator that was eating up $1,000 of diesel every few days to get this thing going. Now, because of COVID, the air conditioner, the unit that we bought, took an extra year. I had almost a year with this rental and diesel. I probably spent $200,000 just to keep that place cold, waiting on the air conditioner to come in.
Yeah.
So that was a joy. All right. It's a big place, so, and to keep it cold, So to answer your question anyway, it's probably $1.5 million, $1.6 million. The roof had roof work, a lot of wiring issues. None of the TVs worked. There weren't any TVs really. I think there was 3 TVs when I bought the place.
In 50 lanes, that's about right.
Do what?
It's in 50 lanes, that's about right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
For 1989.
Yeah. Yeah, the bar had they had 2 TVs in the bar. One of them didn't work. So, to get people in there, to get them to stay, you gotta put some money in. So new TVs, new screens. Since then, we built a new bar. We've upgraded the sound system. We put some games in there for the kids, for the adults. The old bar 3 nights a week, we have high stakes poker in there. And those guys are great. You know, they're there all night. They drink. They're no trouble. You know, it's fantastic having those guys. Just redid the parking lot, new asphalt job, all paint, new sign, and landscaping. You know, so the place looks a lot better. You know,
these are the things that you don't think about when you own a gigantic bowling center. Like, obviously, you know, the carpet and all of that stuff. You obviously think about
new flooring. That's
but when you start talking about having to like restriping parking lots is like the biggest scam there ever is.
Oh,
because it costs a fortune, relatively speaking, for something you think, well, who cares about lines?
Anything I want to do, the guys walk in, oh, we have to upgrade this. We can't do that. Permitting, can't do that anymore. You know, we just put in some new fryers, you know, and we have to extend out the ventilation. Oh, well, we can't just add on to ventilation. You have to redo all the ventilation because, you know, the place is so old, you know, and we're adding in a game room, which we would have done already, but this other hurricane came through and just tore up everything, you know, so all the cash flow out the window. So I'm waiting on more cash to slowly make its way in so we can do this. But we're told that we can't raise the ceiling the extra 2 feet we want to put in some of the larger games without redoing the entire sprinkler system. You know, so that's another $200,000. You know, of course, you know, it just nonstop. You know, but the place is full. You know, open bowling every weekend. It's full. You know, the bar's full. The pool tables are full. You know. And that's the goal, right? You know, this is a marathon. You know, it takes time.
Do you do you find that with Florida being seasonal, does that affect you much?
Not anymore. You know, there's so many people here now. I mean, it's so many more people. I mean, the traffic situation is out of control. You know, I live close to the interstate, you know, and so I can jump on and go north. Usually there was a time where I can make it in 30 minutes to the bowling center, and now it's an hour. You know, it's a lot of people, you know, and we haven't noticed the difference between May, June, you know, and season anymore at any of our business, any of the stores. You know, we supply Publix with a lot of product, you know, and we don't even notice a drop off anymore in the summer.
No.
You know, I mean, it's just so many people here.
So every time you sit in traffic, do you go, God damn, all these people here, I'm making money. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. I fight with that. Yeah, I fight with that every day. And I'm very vocal in my car alone.
But then you realize that all these extra people being here is probably quite good for you.
You know, yeah, I'm glad to have them, but holy crap, man.
Yeah, this is Stephen was a manager at Rowlett, and they said they had to restrap the parking lot and replace the hood ventilation because of a new fryer. Blew out the yearly budget straight away.
Yeah, you were thinking, I don't know, man. It's nothing cheap anymore, you know.
No,
you know, somebody would know that the technicals, and I think we can answer this because it's armor plate or anvilane. But at the time it was built at the same time as North Rock and Hawthorne lanes up there, so same approaches and lanes that is. But they're in good shape.
You know,
good for you is that it wasn't busy for a while, so the lanes are still in pretty good shape.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: is I don't know exactly how long, and there's everybody's word of mouth, but I'm told for about 8, 9, 10 years, you know, they didn't have 40, 50 people in there at a time, ever, you know. And they put them all right by the old bar, you know, down by, you know, lanes, you know, 30-ish and down there, you know. So when you bowl down there, you notice a big difference because they're really a lot more tight, 1 through 12. You know, they all have it's like 3 or 4 different bowling alleys in there. It depends on where you are. And, you know, we've thought about it. You know, we wanted to, you know, Matt McNeil was was telling me, man, you can fix all that, and screen them. And I'm told that they can't do it anymore, that they've done it all the way to the bottom, And so I've priced out just a few months ago. I priced out new lanes, new approaches. It's a huge amount of money, And
what's that tally?
Yeah, about 500. And I don't look. I'm one of those guys. I don't like getting loans. If I can't pay cash for it, I think about whether I want to do it or not. But when it comes to that type of stuff, I don't know now. Don't know if I want to spend that much money on the new lanes, because then you're looking at about a year of people complaining that the shot's impossible. We went through that in Naples a long time ago. It was rough for a while. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Anthony Moore, thanks for the super chat. He says, what was the biggest unexpected joy of owning the bowling center?
Now, unexpected joy meaning that I really like it, or
the positives that have come out of it that you didn't necessarily expect. Like, I understand, I've spoken to you a little bit,
of course.
Well, I got to meet you guys, except for that,
Well, except
because I know that you've spoken a lot about how you feel like now you've got the bowling center, especially when the hurricane comes through. You were very keen to be able to try and find a way to open it because you felt like it was a community meeting place now.
Yeah, people were itching, to get back, and then they wanted to hang out with their friends and forget about, how their lives had turned upside down. I mean, within 5-10 miles of the center, I mean, it was a war zone. It was really bad. And, several employees and friends lost everything, so it was rough. We wanted to get it open. It took, I think it was 3 weeks before we were able to open, but we didn't have, more than 10, 15 people come in there for another 2 weeks. There was nobody. League started a little after that because we didn't want to start leagues and then half of the people couldn't make it or didn't want to come, and then they didn't have their team. So pretty much everybody came back for the most part. There was just a few spotty here and there that didn't make it. But back to the question, one thing that I didn't expect was to have so many friends come out of this. There's so many good people in that area that I never would have met, and get to hang out with. That for me, that is what I got most out of it. Not what I thought. I thought I would be there all the time. I would practice. I would get better at bowling. And, Florida has just blown up and all our businesses is taking up all of my time, so I can't be there as much as I want to. But when I'm there, it's like a big family. And I mean, it really is like a big family.
Yeah. I mean, you had Ricky Ward working in your pro shop at one time.
Yeah.
Larry Lichstein was running a live stream out of your center. Regular league nights. Like, for people who don't know, we haven't done a very good job of letting them know all the different things you've added in there, but you have cameras on a huge.
Almost every pair has a camera now. We're not doing live streaming now. Right. We stopped it a while back, but we're gonna get back into it. There's a lot of things we're gonna do moving forward. Just getting all of this remodeling done and trying to get the business part of it on track has been my goal the last year.
And so your favorite part of it? Not including the people. I mean, I think it's a people business, so I think that really is.
Having the PBA there was the greatest part of owning that bowling alley for me. I got to tell you, man. The first guy I met in there, Matt McNeil, came in, and he's a regular there, and he moved here now. Matt is such a joy, and he has so much knowledge of the game. But bowling with Tom Doherty many nights, and he comes out for a lot of my scratch tournaments.
Is that the part you like and the part you don't like?
He's, I mean, look, a lot of people say he's an asshole, but,
including Tom.
Yeah, but I love Tom. You know, I'll tell anybody. I don't care what they say. You know, Tom
and we're out of splitter teammates for a long time.
We hit it off.
Yeah.
Know, and he lets the short jokes fly. And, you know,
for those of you there, he's got a chair there, but he's not actually sitting in. He's standing in front of the chair right now. That's not.
My greatest joy is beating him twice. 2 games. Well, it's only 2 games, not the whole tournament, but beating him twice on a sports shot on a scratch tournament. That was my greatest joy. Yeah.
One of our regulars says, one of Dino's really good friends says, did you lose a bet to have that in the background?
Yeah. You know,
he just got so much square footage. This is just the other part of the house.
Yeah. No, this is the bowling side.
This is the office at the processing plant. This is where I am right now. I'm not at the house. But yeah.
A couple of people are asking us, do you have any thoughts on string pins?
Oh, you know, look, you know, they were on a full.
Bearing in mind that some of your league bowlers might be watching.
You know, look, I mean, I'm never going to put them in as long as I own that bowling center. Now, never say never, right? You know, but I would be the last one in Florida that put in string pins. If everybody went to it, and I'd be the last one, I guess I could give in. You know, but maybe
I'm not going to ask you to comment on rumors, but the center that you used to bowl league in was moving towards these, and maybe some of that lack of attention to traditional bowlers is a little how this whole thing all started, isn't it?
It's a big part of it. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
You know, it was a 32 lane center. It went to 24 lanes. They put in a 1 and 2, these huge games right there that would just go off and start making noise. You know, they put a new bar and kitchen right in the middle, and there was an outside area that was always open. And if you were there, it would get very humid there, you know. And then they put sofas in down in the bowlers area all the way back. So for me, and this is me, some people loved it, you know. I didn't like it, you know. There was no room. You didn't have any room to bring your bowling balls in, you know, and it just felt like they didn't want us there. You know, that's how I felt, you know. And I mentioned this to the owner, and, you know, he's fantastic business owner. He has several centers. He has all of them actually in the area pretty much, you know. And, you know, he's a businessman, you know, and at the time I just didn't get it. I don't understand what you're doing. I just don't want us there, you know. And it went from, you know, several teams down to nothing, you know. And I about a year ago I seen him, and I apologized to him. I said, look, I want to apologize to you because I get it now. I get a lot of what he did, you know. But, you know, as I'm remodeling the place and the thinking of what we're going to do, I used, you know, myself as what I liked and what I didn't like, and what the bowlers liked and they didn't like.
Just skewed way too heavy towards the recreational side and kind of.
Yeah, you know, and, you know, so every Saturday and every Sunday we have a tournament, you know, and some of these tournaments we have 150 plus people, and sometimes it's 80 or 90 people, you know. We have one every Sunday, every Saturday, starts at 1 o'clock, and the open bowlers coming after.
We've promoted more than a few of them here on this show. I think you do a great job there. Simonson is in the chat too, and there's something we wanted to bring up, and we haven't quite got to it yet.
I moved to Florida, moved to Naples in '97. Been in the food business since 1987. Started with a processing plant. It's a food manufacturer. We slice and dice tomatoes, onions, peppers, lots of other veggies and fruit. I started delivering to Publix a little over 20 years ago. We supply every single Publix store from here all the way to West Virginia. It's a big nut. It's a lot of product. It's truckloads a day. We have my partner and I, we have a lot of different things, some together, some separate. It's mostly food and seafood. Trucks.
The adult in Simo coming out. You veggies.
You know, look, true story. I get in the 80s, and I get a job on the dock, and I'm a receiving manager at the time, and I have to cut up this product and taste it. And I didn't eat tomatoes, I didn't eat lettuce, I hated cabbage, I didn't like beans, nothing. I was meat and potatoes guy. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen your forklift experience. Yeah. So
volunteering to I don't know about volunteering, but he's willing to come out and be
he's almost a caricature. He turns up at bowling center tournaments, has more fun fixing the machine than beating everybody.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have him here. So look,
it does both, but yeah,
seems to get more fun out of fixing the machine than anything else. Now he's a forklift operator.
I know. Yeah. So look, I didn't eat tomatoes, nothing, and I had to start eating it, and now I eat everything. Maybe
this should be your catchphrase: string beans, yes; string beans, no.
I like that. That's good. Yeah. Now it looks like they're not going to go to the string pins now. They had changed the last few lanes, and I bowl on them, and I went to a string pin tournament there that they had. This is after I left the place, and I'm bowling with David O'Sullivan, Donnie Swartz, somebody, I can't remember the other guy, and Norm Duke is there with me, and the air conditioner went out and it's all sticky, and we start drinking. And I made the mistake of trying to keep up with Norm, and
that's not a good.
I don't remember
people have died on that hill.
But my best game was on the string pins, because we bowled half on non-strings and the other half on strings.
Yeah.
Now I've been in the back. Pat took me in the back a while back, about a year ago, and it's clean as a whistle, and all the parts fit in this little cabinet, So I mean, he had me buying into it, but I'm too traditional with.
Interesting take on that. Now, we talked to a few guys afterwards that was a split-sided center that he had half and half and ran that tournament to see. Yeah. They put the string pins on the easier half of the center. And then through the USBC, that version of them, the side where the ball door is, the string is shorter.
Yeah.
And so the carry on that lane is significantly better than the side where it's longer, which is interesting side take. So that's one of the things that stopped it from being sanctioned from USBC side.
Yeah, and it's probably going to happen. I mean, I'm sure it will. They just have some more work to do.
David Tolson, he's out of Colorado. Have you figured out a way to transition your junior bowlers to adult bowlers? And whether it's sanctioned or not doesn't really affect your business so much, but
we have a pretty good following on Saturday mornings with the youth. I don't know exactly what the count is now. It's 60 or 70 kids. And we have Mary Berner is our tournament director. She is fantastic. And Greg handles the league in the morning. He announces, and he makes these kids love what they're doing. We have a lot of tournaments where we allow the kids to bowl. We have the smart fun set up on every tournament, unless there's a reason that it's not legal. I don't know. All the kids are sanctioned when they start bowling on Saturdays. They're all sanctioned. So moving to adults, we have a lot of young kids there that were, youth bowlers that bowl in our leagues now.
Are all your leagues sanctioned?
Yes.
You do sanction. No, I'm just fascinated by it because I feel like bowling to me still seems very popular, yet it seems that there's less sanctioned bowlers. And I'm wondering whether some of that isn't necessarily that they've stopped bowling. They just don't sanction and they still bowl.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. All of our leagues are sanctioned. Our tournaments are not because we were giving out so much money to some of these, all the added money tournaments that, they didn't want to have to give them and, take taxes out for it, because I think it's 500 is the max you can give out without doing that. So if you sanction it, you have to do that. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, there's you have to set the thing with sanction is because I did a tournament, one of those things where I tried to be a good dude and I did a US Open qualifier 1 year, and it was such a pain in the ass. Like I did the USBC thing for them, but then they it's like, you had to have like a tournament like financial report and this and that, and like, I got sponsors in, so then I needed a receipt from the sponsors. It's like I actually paid out way more than I took in. Why does that matter?
Yeah,
Like, it was a bit of a pain. It was my own fault. I should have paid better attention, but
yeah.
Larry wants to know what requirements did the PBA mandate for a bowling center to be able to host event? Now yours were live streamed, not televised, but did they make any special requests for you to hold the event?
No, they haven't actually. I'm not sure why. Maybe they came in and we had everything that they needed.
Well, you have internet that works, which is the biggest hurdle most.
Yeah, we have a good internet there. Yes.
Yeah, you guys have upgraded your.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yours is way better than it is at most places and runs way faster. We didn't have any. Of course, you have so many cameras running already. You already had to have a minimum setup that.
Well, we wanted to. Larry wanted to call the action on ours, and of course we couldn't, because they have their own deal now, which is fantastic. Just a check. You just need to give them a check, and we're happy. Yeah. We have the non-champions. I don't know. Did we talk about this yet? We have the non-champions, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, a regional at our center. And it's been moved back to August, which, I wish it was still in April. The weather's much better.
So you're saying what's in August?
The seniors we're going at the end of the schedule this year versus the beginning because the PBA got pushed. The regular tour got pushed back.
Okay.
On top of the old dates, and so they just pushed. Basically, they just flipped it. They flipped the end of the start to the beginning instead of making everybody move. They just took the Florida swing and put it on the back end. So Florida in August isn't going to be nearly as
maybe I should come out for that one.
But you should.
I always get a kick out of the bowlers. Go, oh yeah, Florida in August. We bowl in Michigan in February.
Yeah, that's not the best.
Not exactly prime time there either.
Well, we bowl in Indy any month, and it always snows, regardless of which month we go there. We could go in June, and it would snow.
No, it would just be hot. You don't want to bowl in Indy in June. The approaches are.
I'm just saying, like, every time I've been to Indy, no matter what part of it, the weather's been miserable.
We have our own refrigeration business as well because we have we have a lot of big buildings and a lot of refrigeration. So we keep our guy over there often, have to make sure he spends a little time there before August when you guys get there. Cause man, there's nothing worse than the air conditioner problems in August.
Yeah, it's rough everywhere. I mean, obviously here in Texas, we don't have the humidity issues, which is really where the approach issues happen, but it doesn't matter. There's the industrial size fans come out around here. The guys, the full on construction fans come out to bowl in the small old centers for sure. There's a couple comments here that none of the senior leagues are sanctioned. How much time if we try? People don't want to, pay, which is, a little bit of an interesting thing. We spend, it's 20 to 25 most places, unless your local dues are taking a pretty big chunk.
We haven't gotten to that point yet, but it may be coming. I don't know. Now that we have the PBA deal, where you can get noticed and prizes for your good bowling.
I lived in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Arizona in August was fine because Arizona had proper air conditioning, and
because it's hot.
It sucks if you want to play golf, but if you want to be there to bowl, couldn't be in a better place. I'd much rather be in Florida in August than in Michigan.
Yeah, what's tricky is August in Michigan is they don't have air conditioning, so if it's actually hot,
it's screwed.
Yeah.
They
Like
just that's
Vegas?
like we turn it on like 7 days this year or whatever it is. They don't need it. So when you actually need it, it's
It's
awful.
no good.
Let's get over. I'm gonna move over so you can see my man Dino's picture. He's got a look at that, huh?
Hang on here. This.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, I think it's a little tacky that he put the Cowboys chamois in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's some history to that, and I think that's the exact chamois. Is he forgot it at our bowling center at the last tournament. So he said, can you ship it to me? So I shipped it to him, and I guess it got there late, so it came back. So sent it somewhere else and didn't make it, I think. And so I ended up sending it. I ended up sending it to his house, I believe. 3 months later, so he sent it back. Yeah, look.
Lightning Strikes is the coldest center I've ever been to in Florida.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick up on one thing. I really hope that when they're saying is a dry heat, they're joking like everybody jokes in Arizona.
Heat,
but it's a dry heat.
So's an oven.
It's 117.
I don't know. When you're in Vegas and you walk out, we went to see Carrot Top this past year, my son and I. We walk out at, 12 o'clock at night, and we walked out and it's 120 or something. Man.
The hottest I've ever been was I was in June. I was in Qatar for my birthday the one year, and it was so hot. I turned because there was a car coming. I turned like this, and the hot air got behind my glasses. It felt like it singed my eyeballs. Ugh. It was ridiculous. But it's been great chatting with you. I've got to run because I made a mistake this morning. Thank you to to Anthony and to Ryan for the super chats. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for that. I will see you soon. Keep entertaining people. Thanks for all of you do for the bowling community. It's nice to see your model is very similar to the model they're using in Plano, which is they do cool things for the bowlers and the bowlers come out and support it. Not every bowling center has to be a FEC. You can find an in-between, and there are enough competitive bowlers that you've got, and by competitive bowlers I mean people who want to bowl league every week, that if you do it right, then they'll support you. And I think it's really cool that you've filled that void for the guys in Florida, like they filled that void up in Plano. So I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. All right, take it easy. See you in a bit.
All right.
Well, we'll keep going. One of the things we haven't talked about actually is you also, aside from supplying Publix, you also have stores yourself.
Yes, we have a couple of stores. Seed to Table, Oaks Farms in Naples. If you're in this area, come out and see it. It's a
Seed to Table, best breakfast collection ever.
Yeah.
Me and Chris could have bought about 17 different items for breakfast, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
bye.
Yeah, we have, there's like a food court inside. It's a very unique type of a store. There's when you walk into the right, there's a beer bar. Left, there's a wine bar and a large wine cellar. Upstairs, there's a hard liquor bar, and there's a band most nights. And you're lucky to get a parking spot most days. Yeah,
it's like a Whole Foods on steroids.
Yeah,
for those of you who've never been down there, and so that's the closest thing I can put it to, because you have it's a lot of organic food. You got a lot of different options, but there's so much. There were strawberries the size of my fist there, I think, when we were there last spring.
My partner's dream, man. He wanted this big store and he wanted to do it a certain way, and he made it happen, man. Let me tell you, he really did.
Seed to Table, right?
Seed to Table, yes. North Naples. Look it up.
There we go. So somebody wants to know, and you being on the back side of this, how do you how do you recover the costs from hosting a PBA event? What's your strategies
That's,
and what are the
that's,
things you learned? Because you've
a
you've
good
had
question.
one or two now, but
Yeah. You know, I wish I knew how to recoup the costs the right way. I'm still learning, and this is 4 years now, and what an education I've had. We sell some of the really good seats. That's because we have these little islands set up at the bowlers area where you can sit.
mm-hmm.
And the bowlers, if they're leaning against it, you get really close. You get to see the tables a little further back. Really, all we did was we sold some sponsors. We added some sponsors that helped take some of it off. And food
Yeah.
and drink. This past year, because of we got moved into the holiday.
Oh yeah.
And we couldn't really have a pro-am.
Yeah, it
So
made it tough to get back on that side.
get
Does
it.
Chamber of Commerce help you out there at all?
Excuse me?
Chamber of Commerce help you out at all?
They haven't. Not this past couple of years. They have not.
Some of the smaller areas, that's a resource. When the towns are less than, say 300,000, because it brings an impact when it changes some things and brings more into the economy. But bigger, Dallas, say per se, isn't so interested in events that don't bring in, tens of thousands of people. So. I know there's that. That's one of the avenues, local sponsorships and putting them up the ads throughout the week, because of course you be live streamed, and then you'll have different traffic coming through.
Well, 2 years ago for the PBA 50, we had the pro-am on Saturday. We had two. We had one in the afternoon and one later that evening, and they were both full, and that helped pay for a lot of the expense.
Yeah, that's right. That's when they put it on top of the U.S. Open, and so I couldn't get there in time for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Haggett says we certainly appreciate your support, and he is right about that. The center is amazing, and you were about halfway through the renovation of the new bar, right?
It looks a lot different now. Yeah. It come out really nice. We're very happy with the work that has been done.
Yeah, and it's bigger, and it's in the middle of the center, so it's more accessible from both ends, and versus the old school. I guess you'll probably still keep that other smaller area as a poker room, or no?
I haven't decided what to do with that other bar. It's a poker room right now. It's a pretty big area. So I don't know. I've had a lot of ideas, and nothing has stuck yet. But eventually, it's we had talked about taking out 8 lanes and making that a huge barcade. But we've been able to fill up the house every single night with league and open bowling, so I put it off to see how things go.
Yeah, and that's the thing is what works in Fort Myers, doesn't always translate to Chicago or to say Miami or Orlando. Every demographic, and even inside that, being in the suburbs versus towards the center of town.
Well, I have the blueprints and everything. I mean, we were taking out 8, maybe 10 lanes, and we were going to do an outside sitting area, smoking area, sitting area. That
put
whole
on the front end of the center there.
Excuse me?
Just put it on the street side of the center there.
Yeah, that's on the street side. Yeah, we were going to have that an outside sitting area with TVs and cornhole, and we were going to go after it, and
put those 8. Yeah, there you go. Well, Florida doesn't have a lot of basements, but
not in Florida. Too bad. If you could, I would. Believe me. Yeah.
Makes it cheaper to build though when you can put it on the same level.
Exactly. So I put it off because we were about to do it, and then we got signups for leagues that were coming up, and there was 40 plus teams most nights, and the other lanes are always full with open bowlers, the other 8 or 10 lanes. So I'm going to keep it like it is for now and focus on other things and see what happens.
Now, I've been fortunate enough to see your place, and you've been pretty successful at business. You've worked your way all the way through, and obviously bowling it's not your only or main source of income. It's more of a passion.
Yeah.
What are your favorite toys that you have? And I know you got a couple.
Yeah, for league night, and I just got back from senior state and completely different arsenal work there. The Nova is one of my favorite balls on our leagues. Now, if I'm on the higher end of the house, on the lower end, GB4 works really well for me there. The high road, the blue one, the old one, works really well.
Oh yeah.
And when I'm at lanes 1 through 8, they're really tight. Game 1, the gym works really well for me.
Nice. Now, when you're not in the bowling center, what are you doing down there?
I fish, man. I love. I like to go. I got an offshore boat. I like to go offshore when the weather's right. I got a bay boat for when the trout and the snook are biting, and I got a bass boat to go to Lake Okeechobee. I like to bass fish. Finding the time is difficult, but I make time when I can.
How many businesses you got going right now?
Overall, we have probably 8 or 9, and there's some intermingling companies, that are my partners and not mine. But, we kind of all work together. We got this big circle, a good example, a guy we buy orange juice from many years ago, best orange juice around, non-pasteurized, organic, fresh. He was going to stop selling it. We couldn't find anybody who had good orange juice. So we went out and bought this gigantic orange juice machine and made a room available for it. We make our own juice now, so now we're in the orange juice business. Same thing with, our seafood salad stuff, lobster salads and all these different dips and stuff. We used to buy it. And now we make it. Got our own trucks now instead of paying somebody else to do it, so we're very integrated when it comes to our own business. We don't like, if we can do it ourselves and not pay somebody to do it, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're self-sufficient all the way around now.
Yes.
So that's very cool. Well, is there anything else you wanna bring up or talk about, or
I don't think
you make fun of Dino some more? That's all good with
I love making fun of Dino, man.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, I've been beating him up pretty bad the last few days, so I'm gonna leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
I can pick on Tom Doherty, he hasn't chimed in. That's kind of nice because I was worried he was going to come in and start, with the short jokes and stand up. I had a whole list of things comebacks for him, but he didn't come on. So
no, well, he's busy. So
yeah, I don't know.
His 9 businesses are like 6 kids, so we kind of leave it at that. So,
but I appreciate you guys, I really do, and I'm glad you guys are doing well, and good luck next week.
Yeah. I had some people ask if we were fully ready for the U.S. Open. I don't know if you're ever fully ready for the U.S. Open. You just get as prepared for what's coming your way as possible.
That little tune-up that Mark Baker gave you, great job, Mark, because man, you went down 2 days later.
We had a good weekend over the weekend, and we got another practice session in on Monday down at Mel's Lone Star Lanes, which is where Stu bowls out of, and they were nice enough to put some shots down, and we could beat them up a little bit and kind of see how get some ideas on something a little tougher, which is always part of the gig, and looking forward to it. It's a test, that's for sure. So. It's no lightning strikes, but we'll.
I don't know, man. Some days, but can't wait to see you guys again. Best of luck to you.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it. And the fact we get to see you at the end of the swing, it's we'll be down there towards the end. So,
right.
Of course, looking forward to seeing your great center and being down in the area. And
can't wait.
Yeah, me either. So. Anything you need, Lightning Strikes in Fort Myers, Florida is the place to go. Seed to Table is the store to go for all your grocery needs. And about anything else, it sounds like.
Go into Publix and buy incredible fresh products from the produce department and from the deli. We sell products to the deli. Get a sandwich.
There you go. I heard 4 different people say, there's some good sandwiches there. So
yeah, it's really good. That's around.
All right. But Well, in between now and then, I want to thank Robert Eddy for coming on here. I guess ultimately the way to buy your own center is go out and work really hard for about 20 years first, and have so much money you can pay cash, and upgrade it as you wish. So it's not for everybody, but hey, if you're willing to put in the time, this is the prime example of how it works out. So we will be back next week. We have U.S. Open, so the schedule will be pretty variable, and we will do it as we can. But in between now and the next time we see you, please support the sponsors that support us: Storm, Rotogrip, 9R Global, Coolwick, Bowlers Mart, Fire Lake Bowling Center, Lightning Strikes, and Platinum Ford. Thanks again to our guest, Robert Eddy. Can't wait to see you. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.
Adios.